Hey everyone, and welcome back to another trading video. It's the Trading Champ, and I hope you guys are having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be going over one of my favorite A-plus setups to take in the market, and this setup has made me over thousands of dollars a day on a pretty consistent basis. But let me explain something. It's not about being right every time, it's about being right a majority of the time. Because at the end of the day, there's no trading strategy or setup that has a 100% win rate. But if you're taking this setup and sizing correctly, and you're having good risk management with a good stop loss, and you win 8 out of 10 times, you should easily be profitable. Again, it's all about keeping your wins big and your losses small. Before we get into this video, if you guys don't mind leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We're getting pretty close to 5,000 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. And again, like the video and comment some feedback. You can ask me any question in the comments. I can't promise that I'll answer all of them, but I'll do my best to either answer them in a video or answer them in the comment section. One more thing before we get in the video, if you guys want to see what I'm trading every single day, all the analysis that I'm putting into the market, you can either go follow me on Instagram or Twitter. It's completely free. You should really take advantage of following me on these social medias because just yesterday I gave Twitter a free play on Amazon and we banked over 25%. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy the video. This is by far one of my favorite setups to take in the market. And one of the things is whenever I am trading, I like to only take a few certain types of setups. There are some that are very simple, some that are more complicated. There are some that I'm lighter on some positions, some are heavy, some are medium size. It really all depends on the market conditions and what exact setup I'm taking. And this right here that I'm showing you looks very simple, and it actually is. It's just all about having the patience to be able to actually go forward with this setup and find a good entry. So let me show you how this works. Usually we see price come down, we see some consolidation to the upside or downside. Either way, I like to see more sideways consolidation. I'm not really particular about the highs and lows it's making as long as it's a sideways continuation. We see a big jump to the downside, so we would see displacement not holding up though. We end up hitting this support down here and pushing back into this trend. So if we take a look at this, we're going to put a horizontal line on this resistance here, and then we have our support down here. So at this point, we see price come down and break this support to lower lows, and then we come back into the zone here. So this is where the patience part comes in. Whenever we see price come back up and break above where this original trend was, which is this support and resistance level, we want to wait for us to come back into trend for a retest. Now, most people are going to want to get in here, and this is the problem. A lot of people want to get in when we reach this high, and they end up stopping out before they can get any higher. But you got to be patient. You got to wait for price to come back down and either retest a couple things. It could be an order block, it could be an order block here, or you could be retesting a fair value gap down here. Now, I typically like to wait for it to come retest consolidation. So since we came back into this trend, I would put my call entry here, and I put my stop loss below this fair value gap here, and I would put my take profit level at the recent high. But typically, I like to play retest of consolidation, supply and demand zones, order blocks, that good stuff. I also like playing fair value gaps as well. So if we ended up breaking below this fair value gap, it would invalidate it completely. So I'm okay with that happening. Just make sure you guys stick to your stop loss in this. This trade idea does not work out 100% of the time. Literally no pattern works out 100% of the time. This is just what I like to do. So a lot of you may ask, Champ, how do you know we're completely changing character? And that would be this resistance break. When we see a downside move followed by consolidation and another downside move, that would be bearish character because we're making lower lows and lower highs. But once we come back up to retest this zone and break above these recent highs, that is when you see the change of character, which would happen right here at this moment. It's honestly not even a bad idea to have an entry up here as well whenever we do retest this previous resistance, and you could have your stop loss right below this fair value gap still. It would just affect your risk to reward ratio, so it's a little more of a risky trade. So if my entry was here, I would go in a little bit better than light, so in between light and medium. If our entry was here, I would have a medium to heavy entry, and if our entry was down here in this fair value gap, I would have a pretty heavy entry with a pretty tight stop loss below this low, because this would technically give me the best risk to reward ratio, right? All right, now I want to get into an example so I can show you guys this happening on a replay chart and show you how it could play out in a real-time scenario. So I believe this is a very good example. We have some equal highs here, we have some breaking out, but technically all these candles are not closing. They're all just kind of consolidating in this sideways direction. If we go ahead and press play, we can see price come down below here, which typically a lot of people would say that it is a sell signal, and that is where you are actually wrong. So right now we have our consolidation here, and now we just push to the downside. So if we continue to follow pattern, we should come back into trend here, and break these highs, come back down and push up. So if we press play, we come back up to our support. Okay, so now at this point, we are back in trend. Now, we are looking for an entry at this point, because check this out. We just broke back above this resistance. We're coming back down to retest this support here. So if we go ahead and put our entry point here, our long position here, onto this consolidation zone, the bottom of this support, just like we talked about, put our first price target here at this high. Go ahead and press play. Let's go ahead and see what happens next candle. Come back down to retest. We start pushing up. We held that level, so now we know our entry is definitely valid, because check that out. We ended up holding that fair value gap here, which is what we have at this level here, fair value gap. And again, I got the same entry. I know that we could have had a better entry, but we still put our stop below that fair value gap here, so it ended up working out perfectly. If I go ahead and press play, we come back through and we retest these highs. We hit our first price target here. And if I just zoom out on the chart, we can see what happens next. We end up pushing up even more for a pretty big gain. So again, let's just go ahead and do a recap of this so we can kind of see what I am talking about here. If we take a look, we have that consolidation we talked about. We have this downside continuation. We have the consolidation here, right? Break below, just like we talked about. Come back into that trend. But as we come back into that trend, we break above this resistance here, causing a change of character. So now we're looking for a retest into either A, fair value gap, or B, the bottom of this consolidation zone. I personally would have chosen this entry here at the bottom of the consolidation zone. Could have had a better entry, but again, we talked about how we put the stop loss underneath that fair value gap, making it not valid anymore. We end up pushing back up. Our entry is on that retest, and we continue to make new highs. Literally the same exact formation that we just talked about in the previous session of this video. If you like these kind of videos, I would really appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe for more. If you guys did not know, I do have my own Discord where I send out all of my trading signals every single day to my members. It's discord.gg/oasis alerts. I'll put it right here. And also, my trading course is live. If you use the discount code 20DISCOUNT with all caps, you'll get 20% off on that. I'm going to be adding 10 new videos to that in the next 31 days, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome, and you guys are going to be able to continue to keep learning and bettering yourself every day. Other than that, again, please subscribe and comment and like this video. I love the interactions. I love to see if you guys enjoy this kind of content, because I do put a lot of work into it, and I want to make sure that y'all are actually learning from this. Other than that, y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.